Many years ago, when I was a young man, I'm 60 now, and I got invited to a family gathering by a lady friend of mine, a real nice Mexican-American down in El Paso, Texas. Her grandfather was up from interior Mexico visiting.
They call those Mexican parties, I think they call them fiestas. They call them fiestas.
And when I arrived, he was eating something, and I had always been curious about different foods,
Sure.
and particularly Mexican foods, tacos and enchiladas.
Yeah.
Sure. Good stuff.
But I saw her grandfather eating this thing, and I wanted to know what it was. He didn't speak any English, and so my lady friend, she asked him in Spanish what it was, and he wondered if I would like to try some. Well, I'm pretty brave. I like to try just about anything once.
Great.
And so they gave me a piece of this thing, and when I put a bite in my mouth, cream of mushroom soup right after you open it before you add the water.
Yeah. It's kind of thick and gloppy.
It had that consistency.
Yeah. Yuck.
And it tasted like a bull's eye off of a bull head.
Oh, God.
Oh, gee.
Holy Christmas.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that.
Well, you know, the Spaniards and Guatemalans, they're known for their exotic cuisine.
And so this Mexican-American lady friend of mine, she asked her grandfather in Spanish what it was, and he explained that it was dill pickle.
A dill pickle. You mean like a Vlasic or a kosher? The kind that comes in jars.
You know, the grandfather was up from Mexico.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Right.
He didn't speak any English.
Yeah, but
he gave me a piece of pickle, and I
pickle.
Put a
dill
bite
pickle. Like what comes in jars. You get them at the store, right?
I'm 60 now, and I have always been curious about food, and so I put this pickle in my mouth, and
I've had pickles in my mouth before too. So has Roger, right, Roger? You've had pickles in your mouth.
Yeah, pickles are good. They're tasty.
Everybody's had them, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you thought that it tasted like an eyeball, though. That's not the first thing that would come to mind. It seems kind of weird that you would say that.
Well, that was what it looked like.
Well, if that's what the pickle looked like, then maybe it had gone bad or something. You know?
It had that consistency.
It sounds to me like maybe you and this Spaniard granddad, maybe you and him had a communications breakdown or something.
Sure.
Pickles don't look or taste like eyeballs, and vice versa.
He was Mexican. He didn't speak any English. And
that's my point, though. You and him got your lines crossed up because you don't speak Mexican.
This Mexican-American lady friend of mine, she put this pickle thing
Yeah.
in my mouth, and so I
Okay. Hey, listen, don't worry about it, Chief. You thought that you were eating I don't know, an eyeball or whatever, but
It was a pickle.
it just turned out it was a pickle. You know what happens? It's a mistake. Better luck next time. Okay? Next call, Roger.
Okay.
do you still practice the harmonica?
Harmonica?
I never got to hear you. I know you played, a couple of years ago on the air. You played something, and I didn't get to hear it. Darn it!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
oh,
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was just something that I did. You know, I was just fooling around. I don't really know how to play the harmonica.
That was neat.
There was one laying here in the studio one
Right.
day, and I picked it up, and after Roger told me what it was and how to use it, I just started blowing in it.
That's all you do.
Okay.
Well, all right. Thanks for calling, then.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking to me.
You bet, Chief.
All right.
You have a good one.
Thanks for checking in,
Don't
sir.
take any more eyeballs. Stupid dumb guy. Thought it was an eyeball. But it wasn't. Don't feel bad, sir. Just about everybody, I think I'm speaking for everybody, that we've all been fooled by a mad foreign temptress that has taken us back to a home for some sort of rendezvous with her family, as she says. And in the end, you find out that, things aren't all that they appear to be.
Pickles are
Yeah.
not always.
Pickles aren't always what you expect, but sometimes pickles are what you get in that.
Right, in that situation.
Zero, 2, 6.
Let's just do it the way we did, and we'll do it again. I kind of think that it might work like they do you've heard these guys advertising the races on the weekend, you know, and the dramatic bam, 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 bam. Is that a good thing? Yeah, because I think the ad's going to start on Wednesday of next week. How many times lately have you heard that the current real estate market is a bad one? The current real estate market is a bad one? The real estate market's a bad one? The real estate market is a bad one? Who says so? That's just not true. It's only a bad time for sellers, not for buyers. How many times have you heard that the real estate market is a bad one? Yeah, as long as it's before, the real estate market's a bad one, especially if you can do it without a down payment or even, screw it. We've already recorded it, and it's pretty much ready to go. The current real estate market is a bad one? Who said the real estate market's a bad one? It's just not true. It's only a bad time for sellers. Now, let's see, how many times have you heard that the real estate market is not true? It's only a bad time for sellers. Well, what if I tell you that that's just not true? It's only a bad time for sellers, certainly not buyers. After all, home prices are at their lowest in years, creating an ideal time. That's not true, especially if you can do so without a down payment and without even needing to qualify for a loan. Think of it, you can have a beautiful home of your own with only minimal closing costs. We'll do the rest. That's what we do. Also pick up affordable payments. That's just not true. The real estate market is a bad one? Who says so? That's just not true. Real estate market's a bad one? That's just not true. It's only a bad time for sellers, not for buyers. After all, home prices are at their lowest in years. Real estate market's a bad one? Who says so? How many times lately have you heard that the current real estate market is a bad one? Because if you can let me know soon enough, then what if I tell you that that's just not true? That's just not true. What if I tell you that's just not true? Nope, that's just not true. Who says so? That's just not true. That's just not true.
Gotcha! I've got you under my skin.
It's running now? Okay.
I think she was a ladyboy. Can people hear that on radio?
Yeah.
When I do that?
Yeah, down. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Mondo, you got some kind of filter you can just filter that out? Because I'm thirsty.
A filter?
I'm parched. I'm gonna have myself some soda pop, and I don't want to be inconvenienced.
You got to keep fresh. Got to keep your mouth wet and moist.
You know, in some of the southern provinces of Mexico, the term eyeball means something very different.
Such as?
Well, I'm not Mexican, Roger. I don't know.
You just know it means something
it
different.
means something different. I think maybe there was something else was going on there. I'm not Mexican, Roger. You should have known that by now.
I know.
Who loves onions?
We'll make you feel good.
Which bangs?
You'll have a great time.
On the corner of Phillips and Mountain, downtown.
Let our magic work on you. A place to play each and every day.
Yeah. Which bangs?
The hot place to be.
Where the fun never ends and the party's never ending. Which bangs?
The hot place to be.
Now, for a very limited time, when you buy one grilled onion sandwich, you'll get the second one for half off. And a slice of Swiss for just $1.75 extra. We'll even throw in a free dinner mint. You're gonna need it. Two for the price of one. You buy one, you get the second one half off.
The hot place to be.
See you here at Whiz Bangs for lunch. Whiz Bangs.
The hot place to be.
Where the fun never ends and the party's never ending.
Mint supplies are limited. Act fast. 1 mint per customer.
So from now on, I want neutral colors. Neutral colors. And if you could wear like maybe a button down, that would be nice, Mondo.
I don't see how it even affects you.
Well, you're in my eye line. I think it's my concern if you're in my eye line.
Is there a problem? Is what's going on?
It's just getting a little busy around the left peripheral of my eye line.
It's right. What's the big deal?
I don't care for the loud colors.
It's distracting you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
That's the word. It's distracting,
I got
Mondo.
a call ready if you want it.
The next one's ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Line 1. Hello.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Happy 210.
Thank you.
Happy who? I don't understand.
I'm eliminating the zero.
Eliminating zero from what?
I think it makes it a lot easier in the new decade to call it 210, 211, 212.
Okay.
But that's not what it is.
Instead of 2010,
is it?
He's saying 210 instead of 2010.
Yeah.
2000.
But that's not the real reason I'm calling.
Well, good, because if it was, that would be dumb. 210 is not 2010.
But
It's not even close.
The real reason I'm calling is in regards to, I lived at 1865 North Fuller Avenue.
North Fuller. You're out by the old Nelson spread then?
Yes.
Ah.
I live immediately around the corner from the Nelson house.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my apartment overlooks Canyon Park at 2000 North Fuller.
I see.
And I lived at 1865 North Fuller.
You know, you may not, and I only say this because I speak from experience, when it comes down to giving down the location and the exact mailing address, you may not want to do that on radio. Because
Right.
I have found that the kind of person that listens to radio that will sit and write down an address when you say it, that is not the kind of person that you want showing up unannounced to your private residence.
But the more interesting thing about this area is the fact that the water in some people's apartments is coming up very slimy and gooey, and
that's a plumbing issue right there. That slime and goo, as a rule, generally should not be coming out of your faucets there.
Yes, I know.
Not even a little bit. Maybe you got like an algae bloom at the pressure junction. But, I never heard of that in an apartment before, though.
And the circuits go out for no reason at all.
Okay, well, that's an electrical problem there.
And then,
Plumbing and electrical. Those are your two main troubles. Does that sound about right?
yes.
Okay, now, is it just happening in your unit, or is this a building-wide issue? Have you asked around and talked to your neighbors?
Now, in my building, one of my immediate neighbors was a couple that were found murdered in their apartment.
So you can't ask them if they've got any faucet goo or not,
One
guess.
of my neighbors committed suicide. Other neighbors were involved in voodoo.
Okay, in other words,
Wow.
you don't really socialize much with your neighbors.
No.
What about your building superintendent? Any super that is worth his salt is gonna jump on these kinds of problems PDQ.
The super.
Because normally in these situations, Roger, I like to give out some good DIY suggestions.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, that's what it stands for, DIY. Do it yourself.
Right, that's what the show's about.
But this guy, the problem is that, sir, you're a renter, and I'm a little bit concerned about you giving up your security deposit if you screw something up. So it's best that you keep your hands off the heavy-duty projects like circuits and pipes, you know?
Yes.
Let the maintenance guy handle the maintenance problems. But that other stuff about the murder and voodoo and whatnot.
Yeah, super can't help with that.
Yeah, you probably want to involve...
CSI.
That's a what?
Crime scene investigators,
Oh, yeah.
or the authorities, the sheriffs, the cops.
I mean, bad circuits are one thing, but homicide and voodoo, you know, that's...
On certain nights, the police come with the huge helicopters with all the lights, and they literally take out 3 or 4 people engaged in services in the park.
Services, huh?
Yes.
And by services, you mean when a dude meets up with a lady that he doesn't know,
or another dude. Two dudes.
Roger.
Two dudes get
Roger.
together.
This is a family show.
Right. Well,
Don't be saying
that's
stuff
another
like
thing.
So many strange things going on in there for no reason at all. And
You mean at the park?
yes.
Yeah. And you live right there near the park, next to your apartment, right?
My apartment's immediately around the corner from the park.
Right.
Right.
At 1865 North Fuller.
Okay, so wait, listen. The way you keep throwing out your address like that over the air, I mean, I warned you. I mean, it almost sounds like maybe you're you're asking for it, you know?
Yes, I know.
Almost like maybe you want some of those fruits and nuts from the park to come by and pay you a little visit, which I don't recommend.
The whole area, it's creepy and very gooey, and
all the more reason you shouldn't be giving out your address.
Yes,
because you did it again. You said the address again.
I know.
3 times now
On radio.
Right. It's a bad idea.
Listen, Captain, call up your superintendent, talk to him about that ooze that's coming out of your faucet, and and don't forget to bring up the circuits too at the same time, because have him check the amperage rating on your breakers and make sure they're rated. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
All right. Way to go.
So is that it?
Well,
well, you weren't thinking that maybe you might want to.
Yes.
Okay.
1865.
But what? Before you do, sir, just one last warning. Giving out your address on radio is a bad idea. Is that clear?
Extremely.
All right. We'll give you one more.
Stupid.
One more announcement in
1865 North Fuller
Avenue.
All right, that's great.
We got it.
Get ready for a fresh fruit salad with a side of nuts. Hey, Mondo,
doorstep.
did you write that down?
1865.
Yeah, write it down in case anybody calls and wants him to repeat it again.
North Fuller Avenue, Mondo. If you miss 1865 North Fuller Avenue.
Hey, you should probably not give out that address anymore, Roger, because when you give out an address, people write it down and then they just go there.
I kind of think that's what he wants.
Man, you know, I was thinking that old man Nelson, you know, used to live over there.
Yeah,
right
but
next to,
the Nelson spread right there.
He would roll over in his grave if he knew what had happened to that area over there.
Did old man Nelson die?
No, he moved away. His daughter, she had a baby. He went to go help her out with the baby.
Florida, I hear, right?
Something like that. I don't know. He's a bastard anyway. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
I think you scared a lot of listeners there when you mentioned old man Nelson dying there. I didn't
say he died.
He didn't.
I said if he knew about what was happening over there, he would roll over in his grave. It's different, Roger.
So he's if he's rolling around in anything, he's rolling around on his recliner.
Yeah, but that people don't understand what that would mean. If I said that old man Nelson was rolling on his recliner, what would you think?
Maybe having some sort of attack, a stroke.
Well, that doesn't send the right message at all now, does it?
1865 North Fuller Avenue.
This program is continued on the other side of the cassette.